Oh, there you are, down there.
Hi.
I can't see though. I've got to get back here. I just need to talk with Cindy.
It was all of these. Where are you supposed to be? Those are little elves. Introducing the flag.
What part do you have in this?
This is where the flag came. This is mine. We could be on TV.
So why are we sliding on the floor?
Don't videotape us.
So, when you talk into the mic, you say your line, and then you pass it on, and then you say your line, and then you have to wait, okay? So is that clear?
Yeah.
And you have to talk right into, watch, you can't go like this, because then you can't hear it. So you have to have it right close to your mouth, okay? And when you aren't talking in it, you can flip that down, and then it doesn't matter. But leave it here in the middle, and just don't bang it on anything. Don't drop it. That belongs to Mrs. Gaynor and the school board.
Okay.
Oh, over here. You got your costume? Sit down, please, in your spot.
Sit down.
Not you, those guys.
This Maggie has been asked us to get on 1, 2.
Guys, sit down. Everyone try it. Everyone try it.
I hope I don't do it.
All right.
I'm gonna laugh.
Elves with me.
The butter there. Let me try. You're on the food. Today, go to the office. Hello, everybody. Yes, I am. Yes, it is.
Put socks on your hands right now. Good job.
Jocelyn, go to the office. Mr. Robertson, come to the office, please. Mr. Robertson.
Do you have enough shoes? Ladies and gentlemen, if we're very Kayla, sit down. My elves, not on the stage, please. Sit down, please. Over here, elves. Sit coming in and sit down. There you go. You're going to have to move over a little closer. We're going to have lots of... So Clara.
No, you're not.
Ici. Clara, Emmett. Bougez, Clara. Bougez. Non, il y a une autre face qui va arriver. Bougez. Emmett, bougez. Bougez, s'il vous plaît. Okay, Sarah, commencez notre ligne. Derrière de Clara. Jason, this side of Clara. Discuss applesauce. Okay, Brennan, derrière, no, Brennan, derrière de Max, s'il vous plaît. Commencez notre ligne. Okay, ici.
Tu peux t'asseoir ici. Ok, just sit in Rashi. Ok, ici, yes. Merci. Asseyez-vous. Merci. Hi, Olivia. Asseyez-vous, un à la fois. Un à la fois. Regardez, est-ce que vous êtes ensemble? Are you guys lunch together? Okay, Sophia, est-ce que levez-vous? Et Max. Asseyez-vous. Oui, Hey, Macphail, Victoria. Est-ce que Ben, ce s'asseoir-là, can you just move back? Le couler? Yeah. Just move back, Victoria.
Well, look at it, they squish it really well. It's like
Okay.
I just want two plays that we've chosen, The Elf and the Shoemaker, and then you'll be watching Stone Soup. We're books that we've read, and they're in the library here at Macphail. And the children got to choose what parts they wanted to be, and some of them are going to narrate the first one, and then we have to have a quick change of costumes and a quick set. And they're doing their best. We're missing Savannah. She's the only one, and she's homesick, and she's hoping she's going to be better for our tonight's production. So, take it away, Desmond.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will be putting on The Elves and the Shoemaker and Stone Soup. I hope you enjoy it. Once upon a time, there lived a shoemaker and his wife. The shoemaker and his wife has lost. One night, the shoemaker was upset. This is all the leather I have left. I can only make one more pair of shoes. The shoemaker cut out the leather for one pair of shoes.
Nighttime, now morning.
The next morning, the shoemaker went down to work, but the leather was gone. In its place were a beautiful pair of shoes. The stitches are so small. The work is so fine. These are the most beautiful shoes I've ever seen. The shoemaker's wife came in. Did you make these beautiful pairs of shoes? No, I didn't. Well, who did that? The shoemaker and his wife opened their shop. They put the shoes in the window and waited. Soon after a fancy woman came into the shop, she looked at the shoes. Those were the shoes. Those are the most beautiful shoes I've ever seen. Thank you very much. This made the shoemaker and his wife very happy. I'll take this. One gold coin find some more leather. These gold coins will buy you enough leather to make 2 sunfish. The shoemaker cut out the leather for 2 pairs of shoes. He left the leather on the table. He would make the shoes in the morning. The next morning, the shoemaker went down to work, but the leather was gone. In this place were 2 beautiful pairs of shoes. The stitches are so small. The work is so fine. These are the most beautiful pairs of shoes I've ever seen. The shoemaker's wife came in. Did you make these beautiful pairs of shoes? No, I didn't. Who did that? The shoemaker and his wife opened their shop. They put the 2 pairs of shoes in the Soon after, a rich man walked into the shop. He looked at the shoes. What beautiful shoes. These are the most beautiful pair of shoes I've ever seen. My wife would love these shoes. I will pay you 2 gold coins for each shoe. Thank you very much.
This made the shoemaker and his wife very happy.
I'll take these 2 gold coins and buy more leather. These 2 gold coins will be enough leather to be all sugar.
The shoemaker cut up the leather for 4 pairs of shoes. He left the leather on the table, but he didn't go to bed.
Tonight we're gonna find out who's these pair of shoes from. That's right in the next.
The shoemaker and his wife waited and waited. At the midnight, they heard the sound of little tiny footsteps. They peeked around the door and saw 3 little elves running into the road.
Right? Let's go. We gotta get out of here.
This way, this way.
The elf sat down and began to make their shoes. When morning came, they had made 4 pairs of beautiful shoes. After the elf slept, their shoemaker and his wife came up to see the shoes.
The stitches are so small. The work is so fine. These are the most beautiful pairs of shoes I've ever seen. And now I know who's making these shoes.
The shoemaker and his wife opened their shop. They put the 4 pairs of shoes in the windows. Soon after, a man and his 2 daughters walked into the shop.
When they looked at such a beautiful pair of shoes, these are the most beautiful pair of shoes I've ever seen. I agree, all of these shoes are beautiful. Maybe mine will be I guess so. I will pay 4 gold coins for these shoes. Thank you very much. Come again.
This made the shoemaker and his wife very happy.
I'll take these 4 gold coins by
There's
the
only
way.
3 cents.
These gold coins will buy you enough leather
to make the warm clothes. Then the shoemaker cutted the leather for 8 pairs of shoes. Thus, they put the clothes next to the leather pieces. That night they heard I sit in the next room. At midnight, they heard a sound of small footsteps. They peeked around the door and saw the little elf running into the room. From that day on, the shoemaker and his wife left gifts for the elves, and each night the elf made beautiful shoes.
And they all lived happily ever after. The
Now, wait till.
I have read the story so
All right, so we have a 5-minute intermission while we change costumes and set designs.
Did you see me grab this? I grabbed this piece. Yeah, that was so
Girls and boys, we're sitting on the floor. Everybody stand up. If anybody has an idea, we'll try to go for it. Everybody jump up and down 10 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Everybody, let me see. Come on, ideas, help me. All right, reach for the sky.
Yeah.
And turn into soft spaghetti. And move your trunk back and forth like you're an elephant. Thomas, you had an idea? Oh no, we can't do jumping jacks, we'll hit somebody, we're too close. Okay, sit back down. Sit back down. Let me think. Put up your hand if you know if you're happy and you know it. Okay. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, slap your knees. If you're happy and you know it, slap your knees. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, slap your knees. If you're happy and you know it, snap your fingers. If you're happy and you know it, snap your fingers. If you're happy, shout hooray! Hooray! If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray! Hooray! Oh, darn. 1, 2, 3. 5 little ducks went out one day over the hills and far away. Mother duck said quack, 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 but only 4 little ducks came back. 4 little ducks went out one day over the hills and far away. Mother duck said quack, 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 but only 3 little ducks came back. 3 little ducks went out one day over the hills and far away. Mother duck said quack, 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 but only 2 little ducks came back. 2 little ducks went out one day over the hills and far away. Mother duck said quack, 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 but only 1 little duck came back. 1 little duck went out one day over the hills and far away. Mother duck said quack, 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 but none of the 5 little ducks came back. So you're gonna have to be very, very sad now. This is Mother Duck being very sad. So sad, Mother Duck went out one day over the hills and far away. Make very sad quacks. Mother Duck said quack, 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 and all of the 5 little ducks came back.
3 months, Huck, Luck, and Thaw traveled along a mountain road.
What makes someone happy? I'm not sure. Let's find out.
The sound of a bell brought their gaze to the rooftops of a village below.
They could not see from so high above that the village had been through many hard times.
Famine, floods, and war had made the villagers wary and untrusting of strangers. They had even become suspicious of their neighbors. The villagers worked hard, but only for themselves. They had a little to do with one another.
When the monks reached the foot of the mountain, the villagers disappeared into their houses. No one came to the gate to greet them.
And when the people saw them enter the village, they closed their windows tight.
These villagers do not seem friendly.
Maybe they don't know that we're in their village.
Just trying to open some doors.
The monks knocked on the door of a house. There was no answer. They knocked on another door and the same thing happened. It happened again and again from one house to the next.
Hockey outline. Say it to the audience.
Villagers do not seem happy.
Do not know happy.
Do not know happy.
Today we should help them find happiness.
Yes, we should show them how by making stone soup.
They gathered twigs and branches and made a fire. They placed a small tin pot on top and filled it with water from the village well. A brave little girl who had been watching came out to them.
What are you doing? Here. Gathering twigs. We're making a fire. We're making a fire. We are making stone soup and we need 30 new stones. I'll help you.
The little girl helped the monk look around the clutches until they found just the right one. Then they put them in the water to cook.
But we have a small pot. I'm afraid it won't be very much soup.
Here are your three.
The little girl ran home.
What are you doing? Stone soup. I like to learn how to make it.
The little girl's mother followed her daughter to the stranger. The monks poked the coals as smoke drifted up. The neighbors peered out from their windows. The fire and the large pot in the middle of the village was too awesome. One by one, the people of the village came out to see what was the stone soup all about.
Of course, old style stone soup was much better. Yes, it was.
Seasoned with
Salt and pepper. That is true, but we don't have any.
The scholar disappeared and came back with salt and pepper and a few more spices. Huck added them to the soup. Luck stirred the soup and salt took a taste.
How does the soup taste? Is it like the old style soup? Last time when we had stone soup on these big stones, we had carrots to make the broth. Very sweet.
Trudy's very shy, but she's got some carrots she's going to go get.
The seamstress ran off and returned with as many carrots as she could carry. Huck added them to the soup. Luck stirred the soup and Saw took a taste.
Do you think it would be better with onions? I may have a few onions.
The farmer hurried off and returned in a moment with 5 big onions. Huck added them to the soup. Luck stirred the soup and Saw took a taste.
How does it taste?
And Luck, it's
Great.
The all the villagers nodded their heads as the smell was very agreeable.
mushrooms.
Ask again, Saul.
If we had some mushrooms.
I may have mushrooms.
Jocelyn.
And the carpenter.
And I have some news.
Everyone, away dash the doctor and the carpenter and several others to bring things to add to the pot. Mushrooms, noodles, pea pods, and cabbages. Something magical began to happen among the villagers as each person opened their heart to give the next person did the same. And as this happened, the soup grew richer and smelled more delicious. The villagers suggested more and more additions for the soup and then ran home, returning with all they could carry. The monks stirred and the pot bubbled. How good it smelled, how good it would taste, how giving the villagers had become.
I think it's done.
Luck, how much is there?
Ready?
How much is there?
There's enough for a feast. There's enough for a feast.
And Mark? Saul? Saul, we would love.
We would love to hear, but we have no horse.
The villagers got ready for a feast. They brought some rice and bread and meat to drink. They spread out their tablecloths and lit the lanterns. Everyone sat down to eat. They had not been together for a feast like this for as long as anyone could remember. After the banquet, they told stories, sang songs, and celebrated long into the night. Then they unlocked their
Need to say, Mrs. Aiken? Now the party is over. Go ahead.
Then they unlocked their doors and took the monks into their homes and gave them very comfortable places to sleep. In the morning, everyone gathered to say farewell.
Thank you for having us as your guests. You've been most generous.
You should be thanking you. You always have plenty. You are showing us that sharing
Makes us carpenter.
Makes us all richer.
Little girl.
make
No end.
happier.
Great. Mom?
Thank you all very much.
And Mark?
There is things to be happy to be as simple as making stone soup.
The end.
David, over here. fantastic audience. It was a little bit longer than we expected, but sometimes takes a little bit longer than we did dress rehearsal. Yeah. We want to thank you for coming. We want to thank you for being so attentive. We want to thank you for laughing at some things which you were supposed to be laughing at. And we want to thank you for enjoying the show. And we're going to applaud them for what they did. So big ones and twos. All right.
Thank you very much. That was great. We really enjoyed that.
We sure did. That's a lot of hard work. Good job. Good job, you guys. Really well done.
My class, just stay sitting for a minute, okay? Just stay sitting down for a minute.
Oh, yeah. Just sit. Ladies and gentlemen, we're still sitting.
Can I have your hands on your head? On your shoulders, on your belly button, on your nose, on your lips. Can I see everybody sitting down, please, and turn and look at me for a minute? Mrs. Aiken has just asked if we could say some things about what it was like to watch your play. First of all, I would like to say that we really enjoyed it. Those were very good stories. I really liked when people used big voices so we could hear. If you're on stage and you don't talk loudly enough, then it's hard for the people out here to hear. But most of you spoke very loudly and used good voices, which was really important. The other important thing that I thought about was that a lot of the time people were really paying attention and they knew when it was their turn and they said their line right away. That's really important too. And when that happened, it was really easy for us to understand what was happening next. So those are two things that are really important from our point of view as the audience.
Something that might have been a little distracting and we should do better would be something too that I'd like you to mention.
Well, okay. There was one thing. There was sometimes people who were in the play, that means Mrs. Aiken's class, sometimes some of you were talking or laughing or making noise when the other people in your class were trying to do the play. When it's not your turn, it's really, really important to be quiet and to be listening. Because otherwise, the people in the audience get distracted and we can't hear what's going on in the play because somebody is being silly somewhere else. So it's really important to pay attention and be quiet.
So that's not just Mrs. Aiken telling you, that's coming from an audience telling you as well. So that's good. Thank you, Ms. Skinner. Appreciate it.
It's going to be great tonight. You do your best. Really think about what you're doing and pay attention, and it will be so good for your parents.
That's good. Do you want to take your Wi-Fi into your room for the rest of the day?
I don't need it. If you want, if you're going to use it tonight,
Yeah, well, I'll use it
I'll just
tonight.
leave it
Okay,
then.
thank you. That's great. Just a second.
Okay, my class. Could you stand up and we'll go over to the door?